Hello, this is Ollie's Movie Madness, and I'm going to be doing a movie review of Iron Man 2. Now, a lot of people say this is a really bad MCU film, but I never hate it. I always liked this one, and I'm going to say I like this better than Iron Man 3. Now, I will say, Iron Man, the very first MCU movie, you can't beat that one. You really can't. That's the MCU movie that started it all. But I have to say, this was a really great follow-up to that film. We focus around Tony Stark. He is having all this attention. He is going to parties. He is just getting all this attention and fame. But then he comes to find out that the arc reactor, which is actually his heart, is slowly poisoning him, and if he doesn't get fixed, it will kill him. Then you have this guy named Justin Hammer, and he wants to take over Stark Industries and merge it with Hammer Tech, his own technological company. Then you have Ivan Vanko, who wants revenge on Iron Man for the death of his dad, so he becomes Whiplash, and it's up to Iron Man to take down Whiplash and Justin Hammer and fix his arc reactor. And that's basically what the story is for this film. Very fun and very entertaining. The performances are all great. Robert Downey Jr. steals the movie. He does a tremendous job as Iron Man. And the character of Iron Man actually goes through a really big arc. He starts to learn some hard lessons, like he gets addicted to alcohol. He is unaware that the arc reactor is killing him. He had to battle with the government to keep control of his company. And let's talk about the scene that everyone hates, the part where Iron Man pees his pants. I never hated this part. I always found this moment really funny. So Iron Man gets drunk, and he grabs the microphone, and he says, "People always ask, tell me how you go to the bathroom in your suit." And he just stands there and he says, "That's how." Such a really funny and memorable moment. But he also does have some dark moments, like him reminiscing about the decease of his father, that was a really powerful emotional scene. Don Cheadle actually plays War Machine in this film, and he does a tremendous job. He is worried about Tony Stark getting drunk too much, and he wants him to keep his arc reactor going and trying to fix it. And the scene where him and Tony Stark are fighting at the party was really funny. He says, "You don't deserve to wear the suit," and they fight in the penthouse. Really awesome and really, really great action sequence. This movie, interesting enough, marks the debut of Scarlett Johansson in the MCU as Black Widow, and her performance is terrific. She wants to help Tony Stark take down Justin Hammer and Whiplash, and she is a very important character because it foreshadows her involvement with the Avengers, that she'll eventually become an Avenger in the 2012 movie, The Avengers. The bonding between her and Tony Stark is the strongest aspect of the entire film. Samuel L. Jackson comes back as Nick Fury, and he has way more to do, because in the first Iron Man, he was there, the post-credit scene character. Here, he has a lot more to do. He is kind of mad at Tony Stark for not taking responsibility for his technology and just letting it fall into the wrong hands. And the scene where he says, "I ask you to step away from the donut," and Tony Stark is laying inside the donut sign, eating food. That was a really funny moment. And the relationship between Nick Fury and Iron Man is the strongest aspect of this film. It always gets better as the MCU progresses. But easily my favorite performance is Justin Hammer, played by Sam Rockwell. His performance is really funny. He's over the top, but he's very entertaining. Justin Hammer, the character, yeah, it's a little different from the comics. In the comics, he's old, ugly, and a lot more scary. This one, he's young. He's more played for laughs, and I didn't mind that change. Sam Rockwell, he hams it up in this movie. The scene where he says, He said to Whiplash, "Oh, what type of bird would you want? I have any bird, I got it." And that was really funny. The scene where he says, "Here's something you should know. I don't speak Russian." That was really funny. I do think Justin Hammer is the closest thing we get to the funniest MCU villain. I mean, yeah, MODOK is really funny in Ant-Man 3, but in terms of like the human villains, like the Iron Man villains, he is really funny. Mickey Rourke, the controversial actor in this movie, Mickey Rourke, he plays Whiplash. He does a great job at the character. You can kind of understand why he's unhappy at this character, because he got mad at the MCU for cutting all of his scenes out. He's like, "I'm done. We're not doing this anymore." And that's why Mickey Rourke refused to come back to the MCU. But as a character, I think Whiplash is, again, much like MODOK, a very underrated MCU villain. That final battle when he's in this mechanical suit with the electric whips, that was a really awesome and interesting climax. His motivations make a lot more sense because he wants revenge on Tony Stark for the death of his father. The scene where he attacked Tony Stark at the racetrack, really awesome action sequence. Jon Favreau comes back to direct, and he does a tremendous job directing this film. He gives Iron Man more of a character arc. He develops Iron Man and Nick Fury's relationship, and he developed the villains the best he can. Justin Hammer is really funny. Whiplash is a lot more menacing, and I like how he sets up everything. Like there's a scene where Iron Man says Project Pegasus and Goliath. Now, what's interesting is that those two projects happen in Phase 3. Goliath is with Bill Foster and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Pegasus is the Tesseract from Captain Marvel. And if you look on the map, you actually see Wakanda, or Telecon, the home of Namor the Submariner. So before Black Panther was a thing in the MCU, this movie foreshadowed Namor's arrival in the MCU. So I think he overall did a tremendous job directing this film. There is some trivia facts, mainly about the character Justin Hammer. There were so many actors eyeing up the role of Justin Hammer, including Sam Rockwell, Jason Lee, Justin Long, Clive Owen, Al Pacino, which that would have been really interesting. That would have been a more comic accurate version of Justin Hammer. Jack Black, that would have been really weird. Steve Carell would have been interesting. I could sort of see him play that character. Jason Lee, Will Forte, Doug from Strays, he was considered for Justin Hammer. But the one that always shocked me, Paul Rudd, before he was Ant-Man, was considered to be in this movie. And I think he could do a good job at Justin Hammer. Again, Paul Rudd would be playing himself, but it wouldn't be that bad. It'll be actually interesting to see him play an Iron Man villain. But Sam Rockwell was also considered, and he got the role. And I think they cast perfectly with Justin Hammer. If it was Jack Black, I would have hated that. If Jack Black was Justin Hammer, that would instantly be in my top 3 worst supervillain casting choices. Al Pacino is my number 1 choice for Justin Hammer. But it's interesting that 16 other actors were considered for Justin Hammer before Sam Rockwell was cast. So in conclusion, I still enjoyed this film. I still find it really funny. This movie develops Iron Man more. It's the second darkest one in the Iron Man trilogy, because Iron Man 3 is pretty dark, because in this one he gets addicted to alcohol. He almost dies in a couple scenes. Just some really dark stuff, but the movie itself is really funny. So that I give this film a 10 out of 10. So that is my movie review of Iron Man 2. Hope you guys enjoyed.